The past, present, and future are all connected. Good day, future educators, and good day to our Honorable Professor, Ma'am Romeline Ramos. I am Mr. Bix Ian Corpus Dansalan, and I am your moderator for today's discussion. Our task is to discuss and explain wholeheartedly the educational technology in the 21st century. But to formally start this discussion, let us watch the video clip first.
The students are doing their homework and they have to look for some information. The one with the dictionary does it slowly. On the other hand, the one with the phone finds it quickly and finishes earlier. However, phones are also distractions, so at the end, the one with the dictionary uses time more efficiently.
Nowadays, children are used to have a phone in their hands all the time. This has changed the way to have fun. Phones have games and internet access. This can be funny, but sometimes children don't know what else to do. Using the creativity and having other hobbies are healthier and offer more possibilities.
It is so easy to talk to friends. You send an email or WhatsApp and it arrives immediately. However, without new technologies, you have to send a letter, pay for the stamp, and leave it in the mailbox. Moreover, it takes days to reach the destination. On the other hand, receiving a letter is always more emotional.
Technology helps us get things in a very quickly way. Therefore, we get impatient when having to wait for something, because we're used to have things instantaneously. Some things in life take time and effort, and if we are not patient, we can lose a lot. Opportunities, experiences, and friends.
Life without new technologies would be really different. With them we can do many things faster and comfortably. Technologies make life easier but can be a waste of time. Therefore, we have to be responsible when using them.
Our first speaker is a gentlewoman from Zaragoza, Nueva Ecija. Let us give a thundering clap for Madam Denise and Aniñas.
Thank you, Sir Briggs. Good day, everyone. In learning, you will teach, and in teaching, you will learn. By P.L. Collins, I am Denise Ansi Aniñas, your future educator from BSED 2H. Our topic is Unit 1, 21st Century and Educational Technology. First, what is 21st century? 21st century skills refer to knowledge, life skills, career skills, habits, and traits that are critically important to student success in today's world, particularly as students move on to college, to work phase, and adult life. It means the world is not constant, and people also have changes in their everyday life as human, student, and employee. This is where technology is innovating. Learners use this technology in daily life, especially in learning. The purpose of 21st century education is to ensure learners are prepared to navigate the dynamic demands of our society, as well as to make a substantial contribution to the work phase. Define the 21st century and educational technology. For today's discussion, we are going to tackle the two terms that have been mentioned earlier, which is the 21st century and educational technology, and what is the relationship between them. However, before we proceed to our topic, I have these supporting details that can help us to understand the topic. According to Wagner 2008, adopting a 21st century curriculum should blend knowledge, thinking, innovation skills, media, information and technology or ICT, literacy, and real-life experience in the context of core academic subjects. In order to achieve authentic learning that is demanded in the 21st century, students engage in the learning environment effectively and develop 21st century skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, and collaboration. Embracing a 21st century educational program should mix information considering development abilities, media, information and communication innovation or ICT, education and genuine life encounter within the setting of center academic subjects. Students must effectively participate in the learning environment and develop 21st century abilities such as critical thinking in order to learning environment and develop 21st century abilities such as critical thinking in order to attain genuine learning that is required in the 21st century. Advanced knowledge, communication, interaction, critical reasoning, and creativity and problem-solving skills are all investigated. We need to recognize the factors that define an individual's skills level in order to understand and distinctions in the degree of these skills among individuals. In addition, let us also consider the old teacher who did not have enough knowledge to use the modern technology and did not know how to apply 21st century technology in teaching. One of the reasons why in K-12 strand, we have this ICT enable for us to educate ourselves. On the other hand, the students are not the ones who will benefit from the strand, also the teacher itself. The ultimate failure, finally, of textbook-driven, teacher-centered paper and pencil schooling is the 21st century curriculum. High-order thinking of technology and multimedia, 21st century multiple literacy, and relevant assessments are all included in the curriculum. Second, what is educational technology? The Association for Educational, Communication and Technology, or ACT, defines educational technology as the study and ethical practice of facilitating learning and improving performance by creating, using, managing appropriate technology, processes, and resources. Through the years, students need more relevant and reliable resources, especially in this pandemic. Teachers and learners do not have interaction because of the widespread of COVID-19 virus. That is why teachers and learners only rely on that they have enabled for them to have interaction, discussion, and communication. Our next topic is the educational technology in the Philippines. In the Philippines, for instance, being a developing country, infrastructures or the availability and accessibility to technological resources have been the major barriers for schools to fully benefit from this major innovation and education. By Bana Romanesame and Cristobal 2016. We all know that the Philippines is a poor country. With the change of time is the change of technology in teaching, in student learning, and in teacher-student relationship. With that change, it provides easy access to things that can provide information and details that will help a teacher's teaching and student learning. In this topic, we are talking about educational technology in the Philippines. Now that the Philippines is using modern technology, some of the teachers go through an adjustment process. The Philippines is going through a pandemic where all individuals are experiencing change. One of the things affected by this pandemic is the education of students and the teaching of teachers. The best thing you can do for a child is to believe in them. Again, Denise and si Aniñas, I hope you enjoyed and learned our discussion for today. God bless and thank you.
Our second speaker is a noble woman from Jaén, Nueva Ecija. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a big clap for our second speaker, Madam Annalyn Habok.
A pleasant day, everyone. Thank you for such a mesmerizing intro, sir. Again, this is Annalyn G. Habok. Okay, so we are going to discuss about the platform of educational technologies nowadays. Let us start with what is platform of educational technologies. An online learning platform is an information system that provides a safe learning environment where students can take online courses. This 21st new technologies being used in classroom today: social networking, online teaching, class vlogs and wikis, podcasting, interactive whiteboards and mobile devices. Because way back then, during our new normal, we experienced face-to-face learning, whereon we share ideas through experiencing it. The invention of technologies have grown faster and even more efficiently through time to time. I'm sure all of you can actually can also experience it, right? Since we are the so-called wired generation. And now, there were applications or platforms of educational technologies to help us for the betterment of our education. Okay, are you familiar with the pictures you see in your screen? Alright. In this time of pandemic, we use online platforms such as Zoom meetings, Google Meets. In Zoom meetings, it enables teachers to reach a large number of students. It is primarily a video conferencing app and does not have any LMS features, and through some people complain about the security. It has helped a lot of teachers and students. Considering the fact that teachers have to use Google Forms or other similar ways to circulate assignments and share other content, it is safe to say that it is not a holistic platform. Google Meet. This Google Meet, I'm sure all of you already use this app, okay? Right? It is actually similar to Zoom. Google Meet is also a primarily video conferencing app. A huge amount of teachers and students have resorted to using Google Meet. Actually, it is much way better. It is more matipid, eka nga nila. Mas matipid siya eka sa Zoom kung gagamitin natin. It is a good platform for interacting with students and taking classes about lots of LMS features. Okay, we also have here Google Classrooms. It enables the teachers to create an online classroom area in which they can manage all the documents that their students need to pass. Like, yeah, even in our social media accounts, we can go and create a live sessions to help us in terms of our educations, Facebook lives, and okay, let's proceed. The next one that we are going to discuss is about the types of educational technologies. Kung kanina, tinakal natin is the platform of educational technologies. Now we are going to discuss about the educational or the types of educational technologies. Educational technology is the effective use of technological tools in learning. We have here the synchronous and asynchronous learning. Yeah, you can see at the screen, right? Okay. Synchronous learning refers to the exchange of ideas and information with other participants during the same period. Commonly, the examples for these are the face-to-face discussion, online real-time, live teacher instruction, and feedback. There must always be, of course, the feedback so that if the students did not understand the topic well, the teacher can elaborate it. Skype conversations and chat rooms are virtual classroom where everyone is online and working collaboratively at the same time. Okay, since the students are working collaboratively, Synchronized learning helps students create an open mind because they have to listen and learn from their peers. Synchronized learning fosters the online awareness and improves many students' writing skills. Okay, we also have here asynchronous online courses. Of course, the students here are proceed at their own pace. They are the teacher student for themselves. They are the one who studies a certain topic by themselves. Self-study, on the other hand, if they need to listen to a lecture a second time or think about a question for a while, they may do so without fearing that they will hold back the rest of the class. Okay, now we have here what we call the linear learning or the computer-based training. It refers to the self-paced learning activities delivered on a computer or handheld device such as tablet or smartphones. CBT or the computer-based training, it provides a learning activities or learning stimulus beyond traditional learning methodology from textbook, manual, or the classroom-based instruction. CBT or the computer-based training can be a good alternative to printed learning materials since rich media, including videos or animation, can be embedded to enhance the learning. And lastly, we have the collaborative learning or the computer-supported collaborative learning or CSCL uses instructional methods designed to encourage or require students to work together on learning tasks. And now our last speaker is the polished man from San Antonio, Nueva Ecija. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for Mr. Briggs Ian Dansalan.
Good day everyone, I am Mr. Briggs Ian Corfus Dansalan, and my task for today is to discuss and explain wholeheartedly the educational technology of education in 21st century. But before I start, let me give you an idea in educational technology in 21st century. The educational of modern machine and gadgets in the educational technology in 21st century is to increase the rate of learning to develop the learner's interest for effective and productive learning process through vicious and progressive use. Educational technology plays the vital roles from the traditional point of view. It serves as a presenter of knowledge just like a teacher's. It also serves as a productivity tool. With educational technology in 21st century has facilitated among the people from the constructivist perspective. Educational technology in 21st century is meaningful and learning tools. In your point of view, why educational technology essential in 21st century? Not only the lugaw is essential, but the 21st century or the educational technology in 21st century is essential. Let me give you the presumption of my literacy why educational technology imperative and essential in 21st century. Technology provides teachers and students with access to a variety of educational resources that inspire creativity, critical thinking, communication, and collaboration. Because it promotes inclusion and the development of digital literary skills. It ultimately exposes the student and teachers, not only the student but of course the teachers, to the new online global communities. This in turn promotes of global awareness, which is an essential component of 21st century education and educational technology. It helps students and teachers, not only the student but of course the teachers through pandemic, because the new era imposed the radical switch of teaching and learning. We studying in the home together with our gadgets, laptops, smartphone, tablet, tablets to avoid spreading the COVID-19 in our country. Sir, I didn't already heard the digital literary skill you said earlier in your discussion. Now, let me educate all of you. When we said digital literary skills, my dear colleagues, it is having the skills you need to live, learn, and work in a society where communication and access to information is increasingly through digital technology like internet platforms, social media, and mobile devices. To develop your digital literary skills, use social media for learning and collaborating. That is the digital literary skills that we need, not only the students, but of course the teachers. Okay, let us all proceed from the second slide of my discussion. I attach in my presentation now the 4Cs. Actually, that 4Cs, that is the 4 survival skills of the student in educational technology in 21st century. Dapat mayroon kang mga 4Cs na yan. Let me explain to you the critical thinking. When we said critical thinking, ladies and gentlemen, it is students don't just learn as a set of facts or figure. Instead, they learn how to discover the facts and figures for themselves. In other words, it is to empower students to discover the truth in assertions, especially when it comes to separating from fact from opinion. That's called critical thinking. Okay, let us all proceed from the second 4Cs, the collaboration. When we said collaboration, it is important because whether students realize it or not, they all probably work with other people for the rest of their lives. It helps students to understand how to address a problem, pitch solution, and decide best course of action. Dito ka na nakikisama sa ibang tao, hindi lang puro personal interest ka dapat makigroup ka din sa iba para maka-adapt ka ng mga iba't ibang opinion na galing sa ibang tao. The second part is the communication with our co-student can streamline their ideas and make a positive impression and those around them. Siyempre, you have also the communication to have a connection and interaction to the receiver. Okay, the creativity. Dito na pumapasok si digital literacy. Creativity allows students to embrace their inner strength from big picture planning to meticulous organization. As a student learns about the creativity, they also learn how to express it in a healthy and productive way. More importantly, they also become motivated to share that creativity with others. That is the 4Cs survival skills that we need in educational technology in 21st century. Okay, let us all proceed from the third slide of my discussion, which is the scope of educational technology in 21st century into student. As you can see in the picture I will attach in my presentation, that is the creative process of our mind is to research. When it comes, we are curious into one thing, the first thing you can do is to research. It's either in the internet or reading a books to answer the question that you never know. That is the creative process of our brain in educational technology in 21st century. That is the effect of 4Cs that I will said in the second part of my discussion. To educate ourselves in question in mind. Under the research, they have two creative process. The first one is the vision and ideas. It is based on research and deep understanding to generate fresh ideas. We have been told to think outside of the box and jump back in. Vision building destroy the box and building a new, and a second one is the inspiration. It is a motivational state that compels individuals to bring into fruition. Creators have long argued that inspiration is important to the creative process. After the inspiration, we have also a thinking that create a creative process with preparation and gathering information and materials. Identifying sources of inspiration after we analyze of Of course, we proceed to brainstorm. It helps us to come up with thoughts and ideas that can, at first, seem a bit of crazy. Some of these ideas can be crafted into original creative solution to a problem, while others can spark even more ideas. And after that all creative process, the ending of that is to design. Yun na ang finish line. It is the output of amount of something that is produced or the process on which something is delivered. That is the process and that is the scope of educational technology in 21st century. Yan na yung epekto ng forces na diniscuss ko kanina sa ating mga estudyante doon sa second slide ko. Okay, let us all proceed from the last part of my discussion. I will propose this 4 learning theory, that is the theoretical framework of our report to support all of the arguments of the reporters for today. The first one is connectivism theory. Was introduced as a learning theory according to the principle that knowledge exists in the world rather than the head of an individual, and proposed similar approach to activity theory of Gatsky, which regard knowledge to exist within application. It contains also resemblance to social learning theory, which proposed that people learn through interaction. The second one is connectivism. It's defined as consolidation of constructivism, cognitivism, and behaviorism. The third one is the behaviorist learning theory. It is based on foundation of impulse reaction relation where students receive feedback for the answer, which help to avoid wrong answer. And it also describes the theory to have started in the earlier 20th century. And that is the model that assumes learner to be passive and respond to individual or environmental incentive. They further argues that the theory is criticized since it applies where learning environment in educational technology in 21st century is at lower level of skill or knowledge that revolution of cognitivism learning theory. Okay, let us all proceed from the constructivist learning theory. It based on the learner-centered view of teaching. It is the root of cognitive psychology and state that knowledge do not move into the learner, but the learner has to construct knowledge. Learning requires the learner to involve in active goal-oriented and feedback-seeking process, where the learner designs, assess, and develop their own learning strategies. Hence, the learner is assumed as a dynamic recipient and handler of knowledge. However, knowledge rebuilding depends on pure experience and knowledge, again on the learning environment and social interaction. The last one is the social cultural theories. Acknowledge that scaffolding plays an important role to assist collaborative learning, where students are cognitively prepared, yet they need help from the teachers or mentor to understand tasks and at hand to be performed. So that is the theoretical framework to support all of the arguments of reporters. I will propose it to have more idea regarding for educational technology in 21st century. So that is all for today's discussion, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening for this video. God bless you.